Over the last 20 years, I've always been about what's new, what's next, and how am I getting there first.
Somebody has got to be the luckiest person in the world. Somebody's got to be, right?
It's you.
And I'm just glad it's me.
You know, when I was 10 years old, I was taking baseball cards and repackaging them and having a little trade show for baseball cards in the local park. As much as anything, I've always been very, very competitive, and so to save money, rather than getting white colored caps, you know, that's my teeth, I had silver colored caps. Yeah. So I had these big glasses. I was this big chunky kid, and if I smiled, you know, when there was a light shining in my face, everybody was blinded. So it was, you know, I guess, you know, you just adapt, and I was just always really competitive, and business was something that I realized early on that I was good at and that I enjoyed, and so I just gravitated towards it and enjoyed it. Hey, I'm 22 years old, you know. Yeah, I came down to Dallas because of Fun, Sun, Money, and Women. A bunch of my buddies from Indiana were living in the village. You know, like, can I just crash on your floor for a little bit, right, till I get a job? And it ended up being fun, so I never left for 6 months, so I slept on the floor for 6 months and got a job working as a bartender at night at a club called Alon's. Then got a job working for a company called Your Business Software that I worked at for about 9 months till I got fired. Yeah. You know, it's funny how much you can learn from a company that's failing or a company that's not doing well. You know, I learned that sales cures all. I learned that RTFM, read the freaking manual. Yeah. You know, most people don't spend the time, particularly in the tech world, just to read, you know. You know, the beauty of tech is that it's changing every minute of every day. And there's really two classes of people in the tech world. The person or people who invented it, and then there's everybody else. And other than the people who created the technology, everybody else is in the same boat. I got fired from Your Business Software about 9 months in, and took a customer from there and started a company called Micro Solutions. And it was me, just me, basically. And I found an office that, well, actually I worked out of my apartment in the village at the beginning. And what it was about was, you know, to the point I just mentioned, you know, technology comes fast and furious, and most people are afraid or don't take the time to learn or want help for whatever reason. And this was the early days of the PC industry, and I just put in the time and whatever it took. I couldn't afford my own PC, and so I would tell a customer that, you know, I'll learn the software, I'll install it, and I'll support it for you. You know, let me take your PC home so I can learn it, but I'll make sure it gets done. And then once you start learning a couple pieces of software, you get referrals, and I just grew the company and kept on growing and growing. And we made a couple right strategic moves. I always tried to ask myself, what's next? What's coming next? So with Micro Solutions, what worked out really well for us was, back then, it was common just to take a floppy drive and your floppy disk and just walk from PC to PC, and that's how you network basically. And I thought, you know what, that makes no sense. PCs are going to be connected up at some point so that people could share data. And so I want to learn how to network PCs. Well, you know, there was one company, basically a company called Novell, that was doing it, and we became their third, fourth system integrator in the entire country. And I used that, you know, connecting PCs together, local area networking, to turn Micro Solutions into, by the time we sold it, we were on a $30 million a year run rate. And you know, one of the things I'm most proud of with Micro Solutions is that we were profitable every single month of our existence. Never had a losing month, let alone quarter or year, until we sold it to CompuServe, which was then part of H&R Block. And then I took that money and I retired. Yeah, I mean, that was the whole point. I mean, my whole attitude was work hard, play hard, and I didn't take a vacation for 7 years doing Micro Solutions. And then when I sold that company, I bought a lifetime pass on American Airlines, and you know, I came to Dallas to party like a madman, and I worked my butt off to be in a position, and you know, I got very good at it. And when I see business, processes, no matter what it is, I always say, okay, is this the way I would do it? Is this the best possible way to do it? What would make it more efficient? What would make it more profitable? Is there an opportunity? Are they doing it so wrong that, and this is the way it's always been done, that there's an opportunity for a new business? And then the last part is, am I willing to do the work to make sure I'm right? And so it was, you know, on one hand, because the fact I love to listen to Indiana basketball, I'm a big fan, created the opportunity, but it really was the same way I approach everything, whether it's today or then. Is this the best process? Is this the best way? Is there a way to reinvent this? Is there a way to disturb it? You know, is there a way to completely disrupt it and put them completely out of business? And at that point, because the internet was brand new and I was still a tech geek, You know, I put the tech hat on. It's like, okay, let's see what we can do with the internet. So I bought myself a PC that I could dedicate it, put it in the second bedroom of my house. You know, spent maybe $4,000 altogether and bought a faster connection to the internet and just started teaching myself. And you know, that's how basically the whole streaming business, we didn't invent the streaming software, but we helped make it work and we helped integrate it, and we basically invented the streaming industry. You better realize that the best equity is sweat equity, and raising money is actually a weakness, not a strength, because now you're beholden to somebody who just gave you that money.